Welcome back to the Chop Shop. As always, this is Aaron, and I'm here with my co-host Damon. And as we were just kind of chatting off mic, this is a fun episode. This is gonna be a weird one.
A
Yeah,
lax one, probably. That's my guess. Because so little interesting news has come out, NFL or otherwise, since the last episode. Nothing good happened. None of it's worth talking about.
yeah. I mean, we've got a couple topics, but oh,
Yeah, no, I'm doing a bit.
yeah. as as we can see, everything's kind of running slow in my brain today.
It's an off day.
Yeah, that didn't fire off right away. Do you want to start with your
Man,
feelings on that?
sure, why not? I was like, man, that's going to be embarrassing if that doesn't land. And if he just thinks that I'm saying it's a slow news day when we had massive trades, and then the final of what's going to probably be the best series I watch in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, I only started watching in 2020, so there's obviously better series, but yeah, I mean, obviously bummed. We had a little watch party, and I had a great time there. Honestly, I had a lot of fun, and sucks that the Thunder lost. We just couldn't pull it out, and it came down to the stuff I've been saying for forever, and it's like 3-point shooting. They couldn't really tie it up, and yeah.
So one point I'm not really seeing float around there a whole lot that I'm heavily leaning on is I don't I, we're not giving the Thunder enough credit for how much they basically kind of fooled everybody that game after they lost Jalen and AJ.
Mhm.
The way they bounced back was admirable, and they never really looked to that level again the rest of the series after that bounce back game.
No, they pulled out the one game at home, and but you're right. It's like once J Dub and AJ Mitchell went out. I mean, the series was 3-1. Like it was a completely different 3-1, and two of them were blowouts. I mean, on the road, sure, but yeah, it was entirely different, and they just didn't have the juice left over to really like get the ball move. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, I don't think the series was ever 3-1 because it was 2-2 at
No, it
one
would be
point.
3-1 at the end. The last because Thunder went up
Oh, I see what
3-2.
you're
Well,
saying. You're,
it was 2-1. And then
yeah.
they went down, right? Or was it
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I didn't realize you were going hypothetical. I thought you were.
no, I mean,
I
like, not hypothetical, like, starting at game
oh
4, the Spurs won 3, Thunder lost, 1-1. 'Cause
um
right, that would've been the injury. Am I missing up the timeline, or
maybe
doesn't matter.
I
They
oh
looked
well,
entirely different, you're right, and
yeah.
they just didn't have the firepower anymore. They just didn't look the same at all, and they couldn't really move the ball on offense or get anything really rolling, and then the one time they did have a good game post-injuries was when Paul's visiting back, was when, they were hitting their shots deep regardless of the defense being played against them, so
Yeah. Yeah, no, from like that was just the turning point for me, and I think the reason it's not being talked about is like that was kind of thrown out the window as soon as they did bounce back really well. So it was like, oh,
they're
okay,
like, "Oh,
well,
the
they're
Thunder have this great depth. Oh, it doesn't even
yeah.
matter." Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, "Oh, well, they're fine without him." So then that excuse sort of kinda got thrown away, even though I think just, hindsight being 2020, my explanation is just that wasn't their true form. Their true form was what we saw in game 7. And, it's not to say this is where I think James Harden, if he were on this team, would actually be able to make that comment and have a little bit to kind of ride on here.
Like, we're the better team, because of the
Yeah, I
injuries and stuff.
I could understand somebody from the Thunder fully and firmly deep down believing that they are the better team than the San Antonio Spurs. I can totally understand that. This is a big part of why we need to start understanding that injuries are a huge part of the formula to winning a championship. There's a lot of luck involved in this as well. And I said it, or I've said it every year. Somebody's tried claiming hospital ring. That's part of the equation.
They're
I mean,
all hospital rings, and they kind of always have been.
They really
I'm
are.
sure you could go to every playoff run and mention some key player that wasn't there
I
and
and I
just how
feel
they
like
go, man.
NBA fans are worse about this than football fans, but, you can make that comment almost, every single year. Yeah, because yeah, if you take a look, there is one significant one every single year. This season, it feels like there's been one significant one every series. I mean, we had Joel Embiid, we had Jason Tatum, we had we had J Dub in this series. It's just been a lot of them this year.
Even
That's just
last
what's
year,
gonna happen.
Halliburton getting hurt in game 7, like, devastating for the game, like, obviously, you can't bounce back after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucked, and we mentioned it on our first NBA episode that, the part of like, one of the hardest parts of the math is to stay healthy, like, to have the good team and then also stay healthy, and then we were healthy for so long and then just weren't, which I'm not gonna, wait I don't wanna waste, like, a whole ton a lot of time talking about injuries, like, that was a pretty major part of the story, but we just couldn't hit our shots at all, you know what I'm saying? And outside of that,
Yeah.
and then the missed opportunities, like when Hart could have done something to, to get points on that fast break instead of just getting, like, stuffed, we just didn't really take advantage of anything. We had the 4 straight missed free throws, that was horrible, and then we had,
Yeah.
I mean, it's been said to death at this point, the 2 shots from Chet, and, like, if he's actually, like, like a B tier star in this series, then we probably can survive with it, the injuries, but, he wasn't, and because of that, we don't win.
That's kind of what I wanted to get into next because you talked about this live, just in IRL, what during the game.
Offline.
Yeah,
Analog.
I'm curious to just dissect this a little bit. Don't want to get into anything too crazy because, um, I think the general consensus is what you're going to run with, and what I would probably want to talk about a little bit. But just curious. I think people were saying that you get 1 here if you're Chet, and I think that's kind of fair.
That's
I think
almost
he's
more
young.
fair for, like, Shea, which, like, I don't think Shea's been, like, super bad in this series, like, he wasn't up to his regular self, but, like,
No,
like, you get 1, but this is a pretty bad one,
it's a
and
big one.
I was pretty negative about Chet last playoff series, but he wasn't, like, and I'm kinda taking that back a little bit, like, he wasn't as bad as he was this series, or I mean, last playoff run, this series. Like, he had his moments last run, and he just kinda didn't this time, and yeah, I don't know.
Well, he wasn't even necessarily bad through the first 2 series. He was actually
Sure.
pretty good,
Nobody really was, like, we were kinda just
Yeah,
walking those teams.
and then I think if you get into and I think you said something you said something to this degree a little bit, but I just wanna state it for the record. Um, I think you get a mismatch here or there where you're allowed to just say, "Hey, I don't match up well here,"
Mhm.
and it's gonna show. There's gonna be a clear downgrade in my game, but not. I don't think you're allowed to if it's to this degree. I mean, he's
Yeah.
effectively being removed from the game.
Sure. He's removing himself from the game too because he just isn't making quick decisions. Like you mentioned this while we were watching it live that his brain was like lagging behind like every play, every possession, every defensive possession. It was like he had a buffer timer. Like he couldn't even catch the ball.
Yeah, I counted like 3 plays in a row where he was past the ball and fumble and
I
like
can't even
dropped it
look
in
at
some
it.
way. Yeah,
He's got the yip.
yeah.
He's trying to catch and run. Everybody said he's playing scared. It feels true.
He was so clear, and then I think as somebody that kind of, deals with anxiety to a pretty decent degree, and then you become aware of the fact that other people are aware of the fact that you have the yips. So then now it's like this meta
Yeah, you've
thing
got
that
the
you're
super
you're
yip.
like 4 layers deep and you're just a fucking ball of
That's
energy.
that's
Yeah.
the James Harden syndrome or whatever, like, or
Yeah.
the Justin Herbert syndrome too, like, now you have to prove yourself, and that within itself is anxiety inducing, and it was already an anxious situation. But for him, it's like, yeah, I mean, at that point, you just gotta get the experience. He's gonna be on the team, like, I don't know that he's gonna be on the team for a long time because eventually we're gonna have apron issues and have to make a decision, and like he would be the obvious chop block. I mean, obviously you can't move him like now because what would you get? But so until then, until we actually are able to raise his value a little bit, you kind of just have to play him and hope he works it out. Like you get enough experience in a situation, you stop getting anxious in that situation, and you just hope it happens sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and that's the knee jerk reaction I'm seeing is trade packages and
For
stuff like
what?
that.
Like, yeah, let's
And
sell him low. That's a genius decision. Good
that's my
call,
initial reaction to that is I don't think that there's even a worse time to trade him because yeah, you're
honestly.
absolutely right. It's an absolute floor. And this isn't something that I think that the Spurs didn't expose something that
Mhm.
now every other team is gonna be aware of and they're gonna be able to do in the regular season. Chet's gonna come out for the 82 and be just fine and be
Yeah,
absolutely fine. And that's the one thing that I want people to be reminded of. And to be completely honest with you, I think he'll be even fine to face San Antonio for 4 games. I mean, I think this was a lot of it was being able to game plan for him. A lot of it was being absolutely terrified of Victor Wembanyama, and then the I think a third of it is what we were talking about is just the layers of all of that. So we'll see, man. I think it'd be idiotic to try to trade him right now, and I don't think that's something that would actually be on the horizon.
I don't either. I've also heard like, are they gonna go get Giannis? And like, I don't know that that's the move right now. I don't know. People they're seeing this like Chet versus Wemby stuff, and they're just like assume they're like, okay, well that's the biggest problem. We have to fix that. We need a big that can defend, that can hopefully take care of Wemby. But it's like they're like missing the major point that we just like couldn't hit shots, and I think we
Yeah,
just have to go that direction more than anything. And like we're gonna get to the preview, but like that's why the Knicks are gonna have such a good shot against the Spurs is because they hit their shots. Like they're gonna have those opportunities, and they're probably gonna hit them. And that's
I
just
think
something we
that
don't have.
I think that's going to be one key to filling out this roster with some people that are not gonna be making it back onto it is filling it out with maybe some more depth shooting. I don't think Lou Dort's coming back.
I was so pleased to hear that he has a team option. On the other hand, I saw somebody post on Facebook saying, "Don't you dare move Lou Dort." I don't know what they're thinking, but
Yeah, I
he's
don't
special to him, I guess.
I see, I don't I don't think you can be strong one way with Lou. I don't think you can say,
Yeah,
"I need this guy off my team," but you also shouldn't be saying, like, you're making a mistake by moving him either. I don't
right.
know.
I think I think they might just have to start gearing towards something more offensive rather than defensive, and I just don't know about the future there, but
Yeah, that's fair.
mhm.
Um, do you have uh do you have anything else on your team moving into the off season?
Um I heard the NBA Daily saying that they hope that they trade up. I hope they do too, man. That would be
Yeah,
sick if we can
I
like
would like that.
really move up into like close to a premium pick. I know it's going to be a lot, but we got a lot. There's got to be somebody out there that wants a lot of pieces now that, such and such new rules, all that yada yada. But other than
I
that,
think
I would say don't panic too much. It's a 60-win team. We lost. We lost to a incredible team, an incredible foundation, one that's going to be great for many, many years, I would have to assume. And yeah, we're gonna find ways to build around winning next year, but I think we got to not panic too much and kind of. We went to 7, even if we just ran it back, I don't think that would be the worst idea ever.
what's hilarious to me is these narratives have started because of the depth with the team.
Mhm.
Because like if J-Dub and AJ go down and they just fold and get blown out the rest, some of these conversations aren't even happening, which is hilarious to me.
Like,
It's just like, "Oh, well, yeah, they obviously lost because of injuries, so
I mean, I wonder. I just,
maybe
it was
not."
just such a toxic conversation with the Thunder, and it like did you notice as well that like it almost completely exterminated like as soon as it was over? It just wasn't like the fire was like put out almost with like the media outrage or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
It just instantly went to happy, good, feel good times. Look at Wemby, we're all so proud. And we're like, okay, I guess that's fine. We can take that.
Well, and the top comment on everything was, "Thank you, Wemby, for saving basketball," or some corny
Oh
shit
my
like
fucking
that.
God, bro. He's literally gonna destroy basketball.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
I've also heard the like take where people are like, I'm so glad that Wemby's bringing back feeling your emotions on the court. Like, dude, come on. Come on, bro. Like,
I am thank you for bringing this up. What why why are we acting like he's the only dude to care in the last
dude,
decade?
I don't think I've once heard somebody get criticized for crying over a win ever. Like, never once. It's usually just, he's so passionate about that. Or maybe like a Twitter random or something who then gets flamed into oblivion. You got some?
Pat Bev, Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh my gosh.
They made the playoffs.
I know, I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yes, okay. That's the one time.
He's
But
like,
that
"All
wasn't because he
right."
cried. That's because he like ripped his
It
jersey off and like threw it into the stands over a play-in game. Like
was a
literally,
little
they just made
excessive.
it into the playoffs, and dude's like he won a ring. That was awesome. I got
Yeah.
to watch that live, and I remember it happening. Like, is this a big moment? Did I miss something?
Yeah. Well, and then they had like well, because Minnesota hadn't made the playoffs in a long time was
Oh,
one
is
of the
that it?
things. Yeah. So
Okay.
that was I think the
But he like
reason, but
wasn't even there. Like,
yeah.
didn't he like just come from the Clippers or something? Like,
Well, yeah, and that was also part of it.
right?
That a part of his reasoning was like, well, I had so many people doubting me that year because of my trade and all this stuff. So yeah,
And it was
and
against
then
the Clippers, so
he kind of
right.
made it. He kind of made it sound like he like carried the team or something. It's just
He had a great
no.
game.
Yeah, he did,
He
but
did.
yeah.
Times. Roy, I
Well,
could like the
I
guy. Good times.
um last thing I would kind of did want to piggyback off what you were saying on moving up in the draft, and you know, one thing is the arsenal that the Thunder had like a couple years ago that they were stockpiling. That is starting to get not dried up. I don't want to use that terminology, but it's definitely not as flourishing as it was. But they definitely still have the ratio of roster spots that they can truly use and assets they have. They've kind of got to fix that. So
Mhm.
I kind of agree with using some of those assets to maybe move up in some of these drafts.
They can't stick
Um,
and pick them
yeah,
all. Like, they just don't
no,
have the space for it. Plus, like, what are you really getting out of that? Like, you definitely should be moving up to get somebody that you really believe in if you can.
yeah,
But enough of them. We could probably talk about how incredible the Spurs are and how this sport's gonna be unwatchable for 10 years, and yeah, they're incredible. Stephon Castle, I think I mean, he really proved himself through all series. Like, I keep saying, I hear lots of people say that this is the best SGA has been guarded, and that was mostly him. So
yeah. Now he was awesome. I'm not gonna get into it or anything. The media stuff, he's been annoying,
I mean, yeah,
um, but whatever. He's
you
been
do hate to
playing
see somebody
awesome.
cry like that and then win, but whatever.
Yeah, um, he he, uh, he's been playing incredible. The whole backcourt, is really, stepped up in a big way for the Spurs.
Even the role
Um,
players stepped up game 7,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, Dylan Harper, I believe I mentioned me wanting him on the Bulls. I always bring that up when I talk about him. I
Was
will
he more
probably until
goals like pick 3 or something? Like,
well, whenever it's a guy that I really wanted on my team, I will always mention that whenever talking about that guy for like their first 2 or 3 years in the league. I
me
do
with
that in
Jalen
football too.
Ramsey. Yeah.
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
that shit too. Like, oh, we shoulda taken Zay Flowers, man, and then a couple years down the line, and suddenly I don't care.
Well, and Bulls were absolutely never even positioned to get Dylan Harper, but
That's what I was
whatever.
thinking. I was like, were they even there?
No, not even close.
No, this guy.
Uh, yeah. Um, but yeah, he played incredible. Is really funny to see my take on Julian Champagny not continuing his shooting, just be the worst take ever. He had a
I don't think he's gonna keep doing it.
just red hot series. Wemby had that one game, well, because it was right before our last episode, right?
Would have been
Game
5.
game 5. Yeah, because they won the last 2. Yeah, so the last 2 games, Wemby, I not gonna lie, I thought he was going to, if they were gonna close out the last 2 games, I thought he was gonna have to be like 40-20-10.
Same.
And it wasn't
Yeah, I
quite
really
that.
thought that too, for at least one of them.
Yeah. Wasn't quite that, but it, because of what I was just mentioning though, everybody stepped up, man. Those guys that were playing a little elevated stayed at that level they were at. I don't know if Dylan Harper had some rookie stuff going on. I don't know if he had some injury stuff going on, but whatever it was, he snapped out of it. Um, but yeah, did you want to kind of talk on going into the next series?
Sure, sure, why not? This this narrative for this is kind of like swirling on all over different types of places, huh? With how they think this game's gonna go or the
Yeah.
series is gonna go. I After a little research, I mean, I feel more comfortable with the Knicks, but I'm still probably gonna take Spurs. I feel the more I realize, like the Thunder are an incredible team, but they kind of were just like built to lose to the Spurs. So you wonder if like the Spurs played the best team just now, but it's not going to be their hardest challenge based on the way they're built. Because from what I hear, the Knicks have been like red hot from three, basically all playoffs, and I've been preaching that to the choir like crazy, saying that that's what you need to beat this team. And do you think that they might have something there?
Yeah, so I'm not confident either way, really. But I can agree with that. And I think they do have what it takes. I think both teams have what it takes. I think these teams match up really well. In fact, I kind of think, if we're talking Thunder fully healthy, I actually kind of think this is going to be a better series than it would be with the Thunder. I think the Thunder um, have a pretty significant advantage against the New York Knicks, but then again, maybe that's not accurate, but yeah, I think these teams match up well together. Um, One thing I'm looking for here and why I will take the New York Knicks for the edge um, is Jalen Brunson is built for big games. Um, I think part of the reason that the New York Knicks took a chance on him was they saw the way he kind of performed on the Mavericks going into the playoffs. Just kind of played above where he was all regular season. We've seen him elevate his game in the playoffs, in years past. I think this team's had a lot of bad luck. I think this wouldn't. I don't necessarily think this should be the first time we've seen them here. Um,
I mean, they've been to
but
the conference finals like the last 4 years, right, or something crazy.
not because I don't think they made it.
Not last 4 years, I guess 4 years recently. Yeah, I don't
They've
know what I
been
was
they
thinking of.
they've been flirting with it the last 4 years
Oh,
though.
okay.
You're I mean,
Uh,
you're not that's not a crazy statement. Um, but yeah, this is the first time they're actually making it in a long time. I look for Jalen Brunson to have some huge games. Maybe Wemby will be able to, you know, contain it more than I think, but I think Jalen Brunson's gonna have some massive games and it's gonna cause a world of hurt for the Spurs. I think New York edges this one out.
you're gonna take New York?
Yeah,
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
I am.
That's a wild take. I like it. I dig it. I can't wait to see how that turns out. You think Castle's gonna have anything to say about Brunson, or you think that's just gonna not be their game plan?
I do. I think we're gonna have one of the craziest back and forth duels um, from these point guards that we've seen in a long time. Yeah, I think this is going to be a crazy back and forth matchup.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Cool. Hell yeah, I hope it is. I've been hearing a lot about they're probably gonna be looking more towards like OG Anunoby trying to cover Wimby and then maybe getting like some help off of him and stuff. And yeah, man, they might have the answers. And I've been hearing it too that they're the veteran team. They're the more experienced team. And while Spurs have all this firepower and they just look absolutely dominant, like they've proven to have rookie moments and like bad judgment and miss and late and lazy mistakes and stuff like that. And but I don't know. I will take the Spurs. I think schematically the Knicks hold up way better than the Thunder do as far as like how they're built. Especially like having like Cat's gonna shoot way more than twice. So like you basically get like that same thing except you get somebody who's actually effective and is gonna pull. But I just think I just think Wemby's just like different now, man, and I think he's a complete X factor that's going to be hard to manage. And there's a potential like blueprinty stuff after watching the Thunder, but like even I was worried about maybe the Knicks would have a chance because the Spurs are going to be beat up. They're like getting healthier over the
yeah.
course of the series, and they're like in a really good spot now. And I don't know. I think I'll take the Spurs, but before I was like not taking them serious. I was talking to my coworker who said like the Spurs are gonna like sweep them. I don't know. I wasn't thinking all that. That's crazy shit. But I, you know, I'm gonna take Spurs in 6. I'll be safe about it.
Fair enough. I think another thing for me too is New York is electric about this, and I do not see the Knicks losing a game at home.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be possible.
Hmm.
I
No,
just
I could
don't.
totally see that. I mean, I know the environment there is outrageous and like they've been hungry for this type of stuff for forever and they always have a really big presence. So I could definitely see that. But
And I don't see them losing a game in New York, and I think they're absolutely capable of taking one in San Antonio. So that's why I have to take them.
man,
Oh,
it's hard for me to see that after those
I get
dominant
it.
outings in San Antonio. But like, it's also hard for me to see anything because the Knicks, like, they've been absolutely dominant through the playoffs, but I just don't know how much I believe it. So it's tough for me. But I do think if you look at all the numbers and how they're built, like you do see something that you like there. So
We have two very legendary NBA franchises in this finals here. One, the San Antonio Spurs being a legendary franchise in terms of always being relevant. Crazy playoff run. I think it was like almost 30 straight years they made the playoffs. Just absolutely insane. Uh, One of the most diehard fan bases in the NBA and very local. And then we have the New York Knicks. New York, the biggest sports market in America. Um, the Knicks, having fans all over the world, especially all over the country. So these are it's funny because there we've got about 5 very legendary franchises in the NBA, and these are all in the top tier. These are both in the top tier, but they are kind of like the B version of the Lakers Celtics, and a little bit. You
the
know what I
Knicks
mean?
Spurs,
A little bit, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I could see that the Celtics
Not
light.
Yeah, not in a quality sense though, more in just like a 1A, 1B sense,
Mhm.
you know?
That makes sense.
Um, because they are also very legendary, but, um, yeah, I think Mitchell Robinson, I think that's something to keep an eye on,
Yeah, I heard
or
about that today, man. What the fuck?
keep her finger on the pulse of that one. Um,
Keep your what on the pulse?
Nothing.
But
I
didn't they say, like, that it was, like, personal activities or something that he had the like
Yeah, and then I think I did read what it was, and I don't remember what. No. I Who knows?
NBA Daily was joking that it was Mario Kart. I thought that was hilarious,
I like
but
that.
I just that's a horrible injury, like a non-basketball related injury, like when you're prepping for the finals, man.
Yeah.
Is that game tonight?
Yeah.
Let's
Game one's
go.
tonight.
Game one. In San Antonio, I assume.
Yes.
I think that's a nice benefit for the Knicks, though, because I feel like it was so debilitating for the Thunder getting that like first game of the series where then you have to game plan. It's like, oh, now we lost a home game. Whereas like you get the first game against the Spurs, it's a game you're probably supposed to lose anyway. So even if you lose game one, like that's fine. We're still right on track. We'll see if we can make some changes and win the next one. And but obviously it doesn't actually. They get 3 home games.
Yeah. Yeah. That, obviously the home court advantage is an advantage. You get one extra home game.
Sure,
So,
of course.
yeah. But viewing it in your sense for sure, I fully get it because if you win, your whole objective, if you're the Knicks, is win a game before we have to play one at home.
Hmm.
Like, you're at no point in the first 2 games worried about I mean, obviously, you are. You're always worried about losing a game. You don't wanna do it. But at no point do you feel I like your verbiage, behind schedule. Even if you lose both games, that's kind of the point, you know?
Like that would
So
be that really sucks going 0-2.
yeah,
I
it
think that's a lot to come
does.
back from. But you're right. I mean, you're expected, especially with the New York home field, like you'd be expected to just go 2-2 and then
Yeah.
catch all the momentum. But
Yeah. Um, I I'm very excited for this one. I think this is a really good mixture of um not having teams that are always in the finals and normally when you have that you sacrifice like greatness in a team, you
equality,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Yeah. I feel like we have a good mixture here of having that while also not sacrificing quality of teams.
That is the nice part of the Celtics going out early. Like, they've been there pretty recently and they're always competing. And it is all I will take a new matchup over an old one any day. And this is not one that I really, really saw coming, at the beginning of the season or whatever. But they did
Um
match up in the NBA Cup. That's right? Is that what
yes they
they
did.
did do
And
that?
it's funny because when they matched up in the NBA Cup, I actually said the same thing I said about their legendary status as franchises, where it was like, these are like teams I would say are the second best in the East and West right now. So
We'll see about that. Ooh, I don't know. And I just feel like Spurs are so easily could just be scary, scary good. But they do have less resources, so who knows?
yeah, well, I meant at the time, um, it
Oh,
was
oh,
pretty
gotcha.
yeah.
I see what you mean.
Um, the but I think they match up with each other well. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I don't think Cat's gonna be as scared of Wemby as Chet was.
Better not be.
Um, yeah. I do think he's still gonna be scared though, because how could you not be? Um, yeah. What? Hmm, lost my train of thought. Do you have anything going into game one tonight?
I don't know. I'm just excited to see it, man. I do feel like I've slept through the East most of the postseason, so like I am kind of I might get a little bit of a shock in this one. I'm excited to see it, but
I'm excited to see if that plays into their favor, all the rest they've had, or if they come out a little sluggish. I think you can never ever across the board say that that's a positive or a negative. I think it depends on the team. It depends on those people individually. It also depends on the team they're going against. Are they able to capitalize on that very well? Yeah. What do you think? Do you think that's more of a positive or a negative?
with the rest,
Yeah.
man, I think I think it's more of a positive for a team for a veteran team probably,
Yeah.
but Man, that I do think it's a really fine line to cross, and I've always kind of thought of this too, like the whole football, like do we bench our starters last week and all that, and for a while I was even saying no, like you need to keep that momentum, but then you get a couple, stray injuries week 18, and suddenly you have different thoughts. So I don't know if a certain somebody doesn't break a finger, like lounging at the pool, then maybe it's a lot more reasonable. But when somebody's still
Yeah.
getting hurt with your day off, then what does it matter? So.
Yeah. He Mitchell
Just
Robinson
taking a few
absolutely
bags,
does
but
not help the conversation here. Cuz I mean he gives a point over to the opposing side there. Um yeah,
yeah,
it's a really good way of putting it. If you're going to hurt yourself anyway, why is this
may
a
as well
good
stay
thing?
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
I think they're going to come out a little cold, but I also think the rest is more important.
Yeah, that's a really and I'm glad you said it that way because that's kind of what I wanted to go into is I think it's we're gonna see both sides of it with
Mhm.
this specific example. I think it can be both. It doesn't necessarily have to be one or the other. I think they're going to come out cold. We're going to see some missed shots. We're going to see some turnovers. We're going to see a little bit of brain fog, some low IQ plays. But as they get into the game, I think the rest is going to help the longevity and the endurance throughout each individual game and the series itself. They're um, in essence, they're able to kind of fill up their tank a little bit more than they're used to in series before.
Right, right. But yeah.
You know.
Any other takeaways?
Um, no, I don't actually have a whole lot more. I'm excited to get into this one. I don't hate either team winning. Um, I think I'm deep down, I am a little bit rooting for the Knicks because I think the Spurs thing is just so inevitable, and I'm jumping on it early. All of y'all that were rooting for them to take down the Thunder, you're gonna hop on in a year or two. Just give it time. I'm hopping on it early because I know that shit's just gonna start eventually.
It just has to. Like we've had a lot of teams here that we've kind of probably thought the same thing. Like nobody really I don't think people really thought the Nuggets were going to be like a dynasty even though they had like the world's best player because they just failed so many times before that. You kind of just see them as like fallible. The Celtics had a big talk about this cuz they were so balanced and they were growing. The Thunder obviously have gotten a lot of talk about being the next big dynasty, but none of them have somebody who's like a complete like wild card that you have to like build around. Did you see the topic that there's no Wemby in the NFL?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did you have an answer that you like for that question?
There was an answer that I did like that I think I'm gonna piggyback on a little bit, but there's a footnote to it. The footnote before I give the answer is it's not to the same degree that it is in the NBA. I don't think his advantages that make him the Wemby of the NFL are they don't offset him the way that Wemby does in basketball. The answer is Derrick Henry.
I heard
Uh,
that too. I liked that one.
it is now. That doesn't mean that Derrick Henry is like by far and away even the best running back in football,
Mhm.
let alone best player in general. I necessarily don't think you can do that.
Sure. I
To
mean,
compare cross
it's
positions.
projection for Wemby at this point too, anyway. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
likely or not.
but I don't think that his long frame, the bulkiness, the strength, I don't think it puts him at the advantage that it does for Wemby in the NBA.
Right. I
Yeah.
My answer I kind of fell on was like a Lamar Jackson. I think
Yeah, I like that.
because both players are like they're so good, but it's not just that they're so good, it's that they're just so like undefendable that you have to like change the game plan just to like attack them correctly. And I don't think Lamar is very likely to get to the links that Wemby now has. So, say what you want about that, but neither is Derrick Henry, so whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think they're both like glitchy 2K slash Madden characters brought to life. Like you haven't gone into 2K and made a dude that's like 8 feet tall and and can shoot threes like crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That's something maybe we should explore a little bit into the off season. It's kind of fun for conversation,
I was
just
the NFL MB.
just cross sport comparisons.
Mm.
Who's the Steph Curry of the NBA or
The
of the
NFL.
NFL, I mean.
That would be Tyreek Hill, I think.
I'd say Caleb Williams.
I could. Oh yeah, I could see that. Him or even like Kyler, but Kyler's obviously not as good as Steph. But and
Eh,
Caleb's still growing, so
the thing with Caleb though is like it depends on what because I say
the like
Caleb because
running
of like the
around.
magician stuff,
Yeah, that's yeah.
but consistency wise, no, because he needs to get that completion percentage up. But
I guess
you
it's
know,
probably just Pat Mahomes, but like calling Pat Mahomes every great is just gonna get boring, and I just don't want to do it unless you have a
you know,
better NFL NBA comp for Pat Mahomes.
I um, I don't know if I do.
I don't think I do either.
Did you want to get into the topic we had adjacent to this? Are you done with basketball?
Oh, do you want to do the Madden cover? Or?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we just got the greatest Madden cover of all time. What are your thoughts on it? What's your unbiased take on the new Madden cover?
It's fine. It's it it's clearly them trying to capitalize on a thing,
Yeah.
and that's fine.
It's just such a like I've been seeing Madden covers get less interesting, but this is kind of like a bottoming out. Not that I mean I love Caleb, but like where would you rank him in like quarterback wise? You know, like if you're
Uh,
being nice, probably around 7.
yeah,
But
the I'm no longer like, "Oh my god," when people are putting him top 10, it's fine, it's
that's
fine.
fine. Yeah, I
I probably have
think it's
him at the
wrong,
lower
but
end.
yeah.
I
But like I
probably have
mean,
him
it's
at the
not
lower end of 10.
sure. If he gave like giving him 10, I'd be super cool with that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I'd say like 8 or 9.
but yeah, and
I
I'm
don't
thinking that,
I
and
don't
it's
know
like
though.
for a Madden cover, it's just tough. It's like it's usually like one of the 2 or 3 best, or one of the best at a different position. So it's just kind of strange, but they did get that. He did get that throw, which is kind of then you start to understand why they did it because they did the Saquon thing last year, and that was pretty well received, I think. So it's like, oh, well, they just like cool moments and cool plays. We'll just do the Caleb Williams throw, and then, but it's
I do
whatever. It's a
think
video game. It's really not a huge deal.
I do think that is part of it, and I want people to understand, man. If if you hate Caleb Williams, I'm so fucking
Dude, I
sorry.
love that he's got his nails painted on the cover, man. That shit's so hard.
The reason I say this because this is just the beginning, man. This dude is so marketable, and he's in Chicago playing the most marketable position in sports in one of the biggest cities in the country, in the city that's starved at the marketable position that's in question. And it's like a big meme that they're marketable. And he's super controversial on top of that. If you put him in anything, people talk about it. I, I am so sorry because this is just the beginning.
Yeah,
It,
yeah, didn't even think about it. Like we've never even seen a potentially marketable quarterback from the Bears. Like we didn't even like
no,
know. We didn't know this marketable sleeping giant sitting in Chicago, and
dude.
here we are. Like that's a
It's
good
a
point. I didn't even consider that. Like they're gonna start
it's
plugging him
about to
like
get
crazy.
so bad.
Oh man,
They waited for one moment to happen to say, "Okay, he's got it. This is
green
it.
light.
Green
Send it.
light, give
Send
him
him to send him
everything."
to prime time.
And,
Um,
like, as a Bears fan, it's cool to see.
are you gonna buy a physical copy?
No,
I probably
and
would.
that's kinda what I'm getting at here is it's like, as a Bears fan, on one hand, I am also starved and really wanting to like love a quarterback and like have that, have that franchise cornerstone quarterback that everybody dreams of as a football fan, and get to experience that because there just isn't one in the Bears history. And then on the other hand, as a Bears fan, it I'm I'm so used to like knowing actually Chicago sports fan in general. I know what it's like to have my heart broken. So like I'm not even fully ready to like call him the guy yet. Like
That's how
I,
I was when Herbert started and when he broke out, like, rookie year 2. I was like, "Okay, great start, but is it real? Like, I don't know." Like,
yeah, and like I didn't have the great start part of the rookie year, but I had pieces that I
mm,
could hang my hat on and enjoy. And then also on the other hand, I knew how bad the situation was. So this second year is like it's kind of like the rookie year. I don't know. I'm
I
wanting to
see it
see
that way a lot
sustained
of times
success.
with those first overall picks. I think they a lot of times their first year is like, again, like a red shirt season more or less, and so
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's really cool. I'm happy for him because I'm sure that's awesome to like
yeah.
for him. I hope and from what I've seen from Caleb, I think this is true. Um but I think he's this way, but I'm hoping he is. I hope that this is fuel for him to like go out there and be like, okay, well now I got to back it up. And I think he is built that way. I think that is Caleb. I just really hope it's not the other way where it's all right. Well, I made it.
Like full CJ Stroud and just think you're the guy and then taper off entirely.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it could happen.
Could happen. I think it'll be fine. It's a lot different when you have an offensive mind running your team, especially one that's doing good and you're confident is going to stick around. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
I,
mean, I'm
I
probably going to say that 1,000 times over the offseason. So
as a Bears fan, my trust is fully in Ben. I have fully put my trust in Ben. I've known Ben on the team a lot or a whole less season than Caleb, but just something when you look into that guy's eyes when he's talking, I
Aaron's
don't know. I trust
entranced.
in Ben. Yeah.
Uh,
I trust in Ben Johnson. But yeah, get your cover of Iceman Madden.
get your Iceman.
Get your
Ice
Iceman
Madden.
Madden. Iceman.
What's going to sell more copies, Drake's Iceman or the Madden physical copies?
There is some sort of collab
Oh my God.
thing
There
here.
has to
I'm
be.
surprised I'm surprised there wasn't.
There's gonna be for
Crazy.
sure.
You're right.
It's gonna be it's like that's why he released 3 albums, and the next Madden soundtrack is gonna be all Drake.
Uh, his next album is gonna be called Toyota Thon. It's gonna have Jordan Love.
Oh, man.
Oh, jeez.
Could you imagine a Jordan Love diss track? We should make one.
Oh boy. Well, speaking of quarterbacks, we did get some official news today. Russell Wilson is retired.
I forgot
Uh
I just saw that before hopping on here.
yeah.
I don't really care. I
Yeah, I don't think we even talked about he took a CBS job. Because I think last thing
I also
we
don't
were
care.
still talking about whether or not he's going to take the Jets job.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well,
I
he turned
totally
that down,
forgot.
and he's going media personality. Who's shocked by that?
Kinda me. Do people wanna see him
Uh,
behind the camera? Is this something
See,
people were calling for?
I mean, no, but that doesn't mean he's not going to put himself there.
Good point. I just wonder, like, I don't know, maybe he'll be good. Maybe I don't know, but, like, I just see, like, did he sign for CBS? What was it?
I think it was CBS.
CBS? It's like, when you're CBS and you're like, "Oh, you know who everybody just loves the personality of? Russell Wilson." Like,
Yeah.
really? I don't. Okay. I'm sure he'll be fine, but it was
Well, and then, like,
kinda surprising to me.
even with Tom Brady, like,
He's the
there's a
GOAT.
lot of exactly. Even if he's
Whatever.
not a great media personality, you can still hang your hat on the fact that it's, like, arguably the greatest quarterback ever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
That's kinda like
Whatever.
at that point, you're just like, "Yeah, I mean, you're Tom Brady, whatever, do whatever you want. You get a pass." But, yeah, interesting
Yeah,
stuff. Uh,
I'm not excited to hear him.
I'm excited.
Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited. Unlimited
Unlimited un
broadcasting.
unlimited fucking annoyance.
Heyo. Speaking
Well,
of, commonly known NFC West football players, we have, smooth ass segue. We had, I mean, probably the biggest trade in a long time, no? I
yeah,
don't
I'd say
know
so.
if anything tops it. I mean, besides, like, Matt Stafford himself, uh, Myles Garrett, finally not a Brown, finally got his wish, going out to play in LA. This team looks broken. I don't know if they can, like, I mean, obviously, considering health or whatever, I don't think this team can be stopped with a healthy roster.
Um, Shout out this front office for just, like, realizing whenever a window's closing and just kicking that bitch open and extending it by, like, 6 years.
Yeah, they'll literally break the hinges for the sake of the door. Like, they
Yeah.
do not care. They'll or the
It's crazy.
windows
Um,
closing, we'll shatter the window. Who
I
cares
mean,
if we gotta fix it in the future? We're getting out now.
they might have had a corner issue, and they decided to defeat that issue by getting 2 brand new corners, and not just like regular role player, like pretty high quality starting level corners. Going out and getting one of the best pass rushers, or arguably the best in football right now.
I'd
Um,
say not
it's
arguably the best in
yeah,
football right
you're
now,
right.
like,
You're right. Not arguably, it's pretty
it's for
obvious.
sure, it's
And then you know, it. I'm not gonna lie. Weirdly enough, this kinda makes the Ty Simpson thing look better for me.
right? It makes so much more sense. I mean, and not that it's, like, perfect, but now, like, what can stop them? Even if Stafford goes down, you have, like, a guy you hope is a first-round talent to step in and take over.
Yeah, if your starting guy goes down, then you just have your, premature option,
Mhm.
like the guy that you eventually do want running, it anyway. So you want him to have a good grasp on the offense. I don't know. I think it's just it's a crazy set. Um, and on the other side of it, another thing I think that people are kind of overlooking because of the glaring obvious aspect of it. I think this is a win-win trade. I think the Browns are building a really good young defensive core. That Mason Graham, Schlesinger, Jared Verse is really good. Emmanuel McNeil Warren, like I think, I understand Myles Garrett's Myles Garrett, and this is
Mhm.
a downgrade, but look at what they acquired. And they got all that money now.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings on the Browns side of this. I think I'm not gonna criticize them because Miles wanted out. He totally wanted out. Like, dude broke the sack record, and like, were a completely unserious team. Like, obviously, he's not making the impact that you want him to make. So, deciding that he's not worth it, completely fine. I don't know, because you don't even, like, get the money because it's all, like, still in Deshaun Watson,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Jared Verse is, like, nice. I don't know that he's, like, a game changer like that in the same way that Garrett is. One angle you can look at it is, like, Garrett's 30, he's getting old, but I personally think he's probably gonna last a while. He hasn't really slowed down in any way. I mean, he's only gotten better, and, I don't know. I think this is more of like a mercy trade than anything. Like, yeah, okay, we're fucking terrible. Go do something else. That's fine. And so that for that reason, I'm never going to criticize it because you know, it's very kind hearted for you to do that. But also, poor Jared Verse, dude. Dude, could you
Yeah.
imagine being Jared Verse? Like, you're doing pretty good. You're on this good team. You're living in LA, and boom, now you're a Cleveland Brown, and you're out already doing training in Browns gear, and you're in fucking Cleveland. And like, I don't want
Yeah.
to shit on Cleveland, but you're going from LA to Cleveland. That's got to be the worst.
Yeah, and especially because, like, this was a really good team last year who, like, had good talks, all season, had a good playoff push, got down to the wire, but just I don't know. Yeah, it really does suck, for Jared Verse in this scenario. The Rams though,
Big old
man.
dub for the Rams.
Yeah. Now I don't know how much stock you're putting into this. I think you already know where I'm going. Aaron Donald.
Oh yeah, I mean that's not gonna happen, but holy shit, it would be so cool if it did.
What do you what do you think the percentage is at?
What's it been? 2 years? When did Aaron Donald retire? But he retired right after the Super Bowl, right? Which would have been 22 was when the bowl was, right? Is that wrong?
Oh man.
Wow, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
When did Aaron Donald retire? Let's take a peek. See,
Been a while. I think
it's
this
like 4
is
years. That I'm gonna say like 2%.
yeah, I do think it's been a little bit too long. I will say though, if it doesn't happen this year, we need to stop bringing this up every
He retired
offseason.
March 2024.
What? That
That
feels
doesn't feel
wrong.
right at all.
Yeah. I feel like it's possible then.
Whatever. I'd say maybe, but I'm still gonna go no. I really hope though.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Just
If he
just for a
did
year, just let him dog walk the league for a season. Get Matt Stafford his second ring, and he can go out high and mighty.
if if he did and was even 75% the player he was, just give him the ring already.
Dude, he could be 50% the player he was, and I think he'd
Uh,
still have a positive impact on the team, especially with
yeah.
Myles Garrett on the team now. Like, dude, everybody eats when he's there. It's, plus, the
Yeah,
secondary is
so
better too, so like you improve the coverage, and they don't have to cover for as long. It's a dream.
one thing I will say here though, and this scenario does open my eyes a little bit. Um, I think I'm giving it one more year. I'm not really giving it one more year. In fact, I'm putting him on notice now. I'm done giving Ryan Poles excuses. Um,
What the fuck?
I think if you need to make a move, you
What?
go make a move.
Ryan Bolt, why didn't you go trade for Myles Garrett? 31 GMs should be fired after not trading for Myles Garrett. Like,
Maybe
what is your
not
point
even
here? I don't understand what you're saying.
needing a pass rusher.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Just like I'm always like trying to, whenever it doesn't happen, I'm filling in the gaps with like, oh, money wise and like having all of these obstacles. Whereas like a lot of times I think GMs that really want to win do things where they can't even necessarily answer the why. Or not the why. They can't answer the why. They can't answer the how. They don't care. They
Yeah.
just go do it.
I think they're
Um,
like the Sean McVays are good at like correcting on the fly like that and like being able to like and the team and the organization's good at like making these big decisions and then recovering from them and so it's yeah.
well, those are I'm starting to realize that especially seeing like reports that a lot of, ownership isn't actually worried about winning and things like that. That's one thing that it's just becoming so obvious that you have to be a franchise that takes those swings in order to win.
Yep,
The Eagles,
the good ones too.
the Rams, the Chiefs, all of these are teams that take those big swings. Oh,
Yeah. And it's about knowing when to take the big swings too and setting your team up, the right way so that you can take those big swings. I think there's a lot of teams in the league that take big swings when they're not supposed to. Like I mean, just randomly coming to mind, like trading for like DK Metcalf when you like don't even really have a quarterback. Like, is that really the best decision? Probably not. I
the
would
Panthers trading for that first overall pick
that was
from the
really dumb.
Bears.
I mean, that was dumb because it was so desperate where they're just like, we're done being in quarterback hell. We're gonna go trade up in a class that's murky and get a 5'9" guy. Like yeah, I don't know that I love the process for that one either. And
If they waited it out 1 year, they get Caleb Williams.
well, they traded away a guy that got him a couple wins, I think, in doing that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
You never know. But
You never know.
instead they wait a year, get the third overall pick and get Drake May.
Yeah, you're right. Well, actually, yeah, I guess that's more my point is
Those guys.
yeah, I mean, they traded away their pick. There's like, I mean, almost every quarterback that went in the first round that year, I would rather have over Bryce Young. Maybe not everyone, but
4 out of
quite
6 or whatever.
quite a few of them. Quite a few of them. But
Even Bo, even old Bo Nix.
yeah. Well, do you have anything else on this trade? This trade
Uh,
that everybody had on their board?
that everybody knew was happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that Jared Verse was wearing the number 8 and didn't even like bring it up to
Yeah,
to, to Dylan Gabriel?
is that like full? Yeah, I did see this and I'm just curious on what's going on there.
I think it's more just like he's getting a number until until the cut list happens. But like
Yeah,
you see it happen and you're like, was he just taking the number? Like, nah, I'm assuming we'll see. I'm assuming
we'll
that we'll
see.
see. And Dylan Gabriel definitely isn't getting cut. Could you
That'd be
imagine cutting him? Just it's like, well, Jared Verse really wants the number.
well, I'll change my number.
Yeah, but you're also kind of ass.
It's
You're
like,
lefty, and
we don't need it. Well, we can talk about the other trade that nobody knew about.
yeah,
Um,
super uneventful news.
AJ Brown finally a Pat. How you feel?
It's like I didn't want to talk about it because I wanted to wait until it was official, and now it's official, and I'm already over it.
Yeah, I
So
don't want to talk about it.
it's almost like ho hum, like oh yeah, who even cares? But like in reality, yeah, this is huge. Like AJ Brown's a Patriot, and they also got Dobbs, which I mean, a lot of people was probably banking on him being like a serious threat for the one, considering there's just no options there. But like you're going from a weakness to potentially a strength at wide receiver, and putting that on an offense that was as good as it was and as efficient as it was last year, like I think that can do a lot of wonders for
Dude,
that
there's
team.
2 teams in this division now that have sick receiver rooms. Cowboys
What?
or no, I was
Am I
thinking
having a
Eagles, I'm
stroke?
dumb.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, them too. I mean,
No,
they still got 11, so fuck it, dude. Like,
I'm having a stroke.
wait a minute. But there are
No.
still two. The other one is the New York Jets and Garrett Wilson
Yeah, I
and Omar
actually that
Cooper.
actually was
And
gonna be my
there you
segue.
go. Oh, yeah. Speaking of sick receiver rooms, have you heard of Garrett Wilson? Dude's so good.
Trying to find every which way to talk about him now that I've ripped the Band-Aid
Yeah, we're
off.
gonna build out episode concepts based on how we could talk about Garrett Wilson.
No, but, good call out there that, people are just kinda throwing this one by the wayside because it's been murmured about for,
Mhm.
I think it was like, I mean,
Before the draft.
really since the trade deadline.
Yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
I
at
remember
least
this
them going.
even
What's up?
I remember this even being talked about around the trade deadline to the Patriots specifically. And then, all the stuff we didn't talk about with, media stuff surrounding Patriots, and then, moving on to it actually happening. A lot kind of transpired there, but it really does. Yeah, it puts them in a really good position on the offense. Um, I'm very curious to see where Drake May kind of goes from here in terms of like leading an offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be able to just chuck it up to his guy whenever he wants, and does it become, like, dependent, or is it just, like does it just accent his already established skill set and everything's just, peachy keen, or, what's gonna happen there? But I know on the Eagles, A.J. Brown's, like, mostly, like, a go ball guy, but you gotta assume he could do a little bit more than that once he gets to a quarterback like this that can really make all the throws in the playbook.
Yeah, that would be the first thing I would like to call out would be I'm curious to see how AJ Brown's game kind of changes.
Mm.
This is a new chapter for him. I think this is the best position he's ever been in his career to kind of show what he's made of.
Maybe show what he's made of, sure. This
Show
is
what he's
like
made of.
Kyrie to the Dolphins almost when, like, you go to a
Yeah,
worse situation win-wise, but you get to prove
yeah.
yourself a lot more, so
This isn't the best team he's been on, best situation to win a championship. No, absolutely not. But best situation to, I think, showcase his versatility and showcase what he's able to do to elevate an offense by himself. I think this is his best chance to do that.
he might get 12
Um,
targets a game, man.
he might. He might get exactly what he's been asking for the last 2 or 3 years. We shall see. I do also like that it's not just Ferrari in a trailer park sort of situation, Lamborghini in trailer park situation. Because I think in those situations you can double and even triple a guy into just kind of removing him from that. Here, I think, like you touched on with them getting Dobbs, I think you can kind of eliminate that because that's a guy that you absolutely have to cover.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
well, even if he's not
yeah.
that explosive, you definitely can't just leave him alone, so
Yeah. Yeah, so I think the Patriots are moving into a really good situation on their offense going forward here. Um, yeah. Any thoughts on that?
I once again saw the meme come back where it's like the quarterback behind the bad offensive line or whatever, you know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
Where they're like,
Yeah.
"Ooh." Yeah, so yet again, and we're never that's never gonna die. When was the first time we saw that? Like 21? No, it was right before Jamar Chase was gonna get drafted as we started seeing that. So yeah, 2021. I'm seeing that every
Yeah.
year. But
Oh, I love it.
do you have any other
Oh, man.
sports related news? Um, I hear I hear there's some drama with the Fever with Caitlin and the coach or something.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I don't even know, man. I was getting a little disinterested in the whole thing. Plus she was playing like dog shit.
Yeah. I heard there
So
might be like a back injury or something. I don't know if that's even close to true, but yeah, tough looks for some. That were there. I know they were like screaming at each other on the sideline or something, and that was on a game where Caitlin went like 1-7, and I think ended up getting benched, and it's a
damn.
tough break.
Yeah, I knew it was pretty ugly to start the season. Yeah, I don't
I mean,
know. I was trying to get into the W. I don't know if it's for me, man. I don't.
no,
There's some stuff with the league. I don't know if I like a certain few things. Um, the whole thing with Haley Van Lith, like,
not feeling
and
that. That kind of getting to you a little
they're
bit.
just so willing to give up on players. There's no mercy at all. Um, It's a lot of matchup based stuff. Even if I were like a Chicago Sky fan, like they were heartbroken with the Angel Reese trade. Like that was seemingly out of nowhere. and
And the Dream's actually doing pretty good as of right now too, as I'm currently
yeah,
looking at the standings. So I mean, that's yeah. What's that about, Chicago?
I don't like the WNBA is it just turns my stomach. It's just like,
No
what the
loyalty.
what the hell's
Where's the
going on over
loyalty?
here, ladies? Jeez,
Yeah,
it's a lot.
I'm like very barely covering. I just keep looking at potentially my future Minnesota Lynx skyrocket the standings with future Rookie of the Year Olivia Miles really carrying the way. I don't think she's even carrying. She's just playing really well. But I tune in and box score watch every now and then. I'm obviously not that plugged in, but
Yeah,
you know, when the season really boils down, I will be, and I'll be picking a team end of the year. We'll see who it is.
yeah. And I was trying to because micro level, I like the way the game's played.
Mhm.
They run a lot of plays. Um,
10-minute
I
quarters is nice too.
yeah, it's fun to watch. I just some macro level stuff on the league. I'm just like, what the hell? So I don't know. More on that later. Maybe I'll keep trying. Maybe I'll try a
Future
different team.
developments. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
Ooh.
who
Any
knows,
other
man?
stuff? Baseball, track and field, lacrosse, fencing, any other cool news? Serena Williams is coming out of retirement. Or yeah, Serena
Al-
Williams.
Already?
Yeah, for some I don't really know what the event's for, but yeah, she signed up for it.
Did she just retire like 6 months ago?
I don't know. I Who knows? Who cares about tennis? I
Right.
don't.
Yeah,
I've not
I don't
once
know,
cared
man.
about tennis.
The Cubs have been infuriating, like,
Scott
2 huge yeah, well, 2 huge win streaks this year, 10 plus games, and then a 10 plus game losing streak that felt like a million years long. I was crying every day. That's done now, but now they're just, like, kind of hitting 500. Ah, it I don't know.
might not be this season, huh?
I did like that one game Pete had, though.
On
I did
finals
like that
day
one
or
game
Western
Pete had,
Conference
though, where
Finals
they
night.
kept chanting that he was overrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened there?
Yeah, it was
Is he
nice.
overrated or did something happen?
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't like it when people call him overrated. He likes to smack dingers when they say that.
He's been trained to
Yeah,
hit
just had a
dingers when
monster
someone
game.
calls him overrated. Yeah, didn't he close that game off with a catch
Yeah.
too?
Yeah. Yeah, had a monster game to close or monster catch to close the game.
Well, Cubs suck. It's unfortunate, but I think we can probably call this one quite a bit of a short episode, but yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have a whole lot going on, and just wanted to catch in before the NBA finals, which are starting. So we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, and go watch those. Get ready for next week. We'll have more for you then.
And we'll
Appreciate.
hopefully start getting towards some off-season previews now that the finals are kind of wrapping up. Probably two more episodes or maybe one more episode. Yeah, probably two more episodes and then we'll start getting into that and
Something like
finally
that.
talk about
Yeah.
some real sports.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get into the in-depth analysis on the teams coming up and stuff like that. I think I kind of appreciate that conversation more than checking in after games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get into that, but appreciate everybody checking this out and have a great week.
You're
Peace.